2, 1.
Well, we're nearing the time for Monday Night Lights. I'm Monday River Sports editor Matt Shuckman, back in the saddle this week. Thank goodness, because where I was last week compared to this week, not so much fun. But I'm excited to be here. I'm excited to talk football. We've got guests lined up to join us in studio and on the United Systems hotline. So looking forward to that. We've got a game in the final minute right now with still a touchdown separation. So we've got games going on right up to the last minute tonight. We've had a team punch its playoff ticket. We've had a team qualify for the playoffs, but not guaranteed a spot, but qualified. And we've got a couple teams on that edge. So, and lots of points scored in Northeast Missouri tonight. So we'll get to all that coming up here at the top of the hour. 10 o'clock till midnight, Monday Night Lights, live here from our Refreshment Services Pepsi studio. So make sure you come back and join us here at 10 o'clock. We will be live. We'll be ready. We got plenty to talk about. Lots of games, lots of highlights to get to. So stick around. We'll be right back here for Monday Night Lights, powered by Farm and Home Supply. welcome back to Muddy Night Lights, powered by Farm and Home Supply. And darn, it's sure good to be here. I'm Muddy River Sports Editor Matt Shuckman, back in the saddle this week. I apologize to everybody for missing out on last week's show. Had a little bit of a medical emergency, but got through that. And we're back this week, ready for more action. And we still have action going on. That's right, as we tip off here at the 10 o'clock hour, we've got games still in progress. That's in overtime right now down in Pike County. Pleasant Hill and Unity Payson tied at 42 in overtime. Unity Payson scores twice in the final 2 minutes. Scores a touchdown to pull within 42-34, recovers the onside kick, scores on the very last play, then makes the 2-point conversion and forces overtime. Incredible finish going on down in Pleasant Hill tonight. Pleasant Hill, by the way, just scored on its possession in overtime. So it's 48-42, pending 2-point conversion. We'll see what happens from there. So, again, we still have games going on. We have one other game going on as well. Quincy High School at Geneseo in Western Big Six Conference action, leading 55-12 at the start of the fourth quarter. That game got off to a little later start, as Western Big Six Conference games tend to do. And then a long halftime show and all the fireworks going on the field with the way Quincy High School throws the ball everywhere makes for a long game. So that game's still going on in the fourth quarter. I just noticed on our scoreboard we don't have the Quincy Notre Dame score updated on our scoreboard, and I don't know why that happened, but, you know, things happen, especially when you've been out of the saddle for a week and you get caught up paying attention to a lot of games going on, trying to keep track of everything. So 54-12, Quincy Notre Dame over Lincoln. I knew it had been a blowout in the second half. And we'll talk more about that here after a while. Ivan Hoon had a good game. Wyatt Mueller with a punt return for a touchdown. Defense was pretty salty again. So pretty good night for the Raiders as they improve to 7-1. Quincy High School will be 8-0 after tonight's game. Another undefeated run through the Western Big Six Conference. And with the win, it'll be their 15th straight, the Blue Devils' 15th straight conference victory, which will make it the second longest streak in conference history. You've got two teams that had a 16-game win streak in conference play, spanning the better part of 4 seasons. So Quincy High School will open next season with a chance to chase that record. It's been an incredible run for the Blue Devils. And WIVC action tonight. State-ranked Camp Point Central takes care of Carrollton, 41-28. The Brown County-Calhoun game was interesting. Brown County actually led 16-15 in the fourth quarter at Calhoun. Calhoun that handed Camp Point Central its only loss so far this year. Calhoun scored to go up, I believe it was 23-16. Long kickoff that appeared to be headed for the end zone. I'm watching the live stream on BC Hornets Sports on YouTube with Steve Surratt and the guys, and the referee is standing on the goal line signaling touchback. Next thing you know, one of the Calhoun guys goes down, dives on the ball. They give him a touchdown out of it. I have no idea. Can't wait to hear from Tom Little. Not sure we're going to be able to get him on the phone during the show, but Brown County's on the edge right now. They have to win next week to get it to qualify for the playoffs. They have 4 wins right now. So that's a real bizarre situation. I can't wait to hear more about that, find out what exactly happened, how that broke down. But something bizarre happened there in the fourth quarter at Calhoun. So we'll find out more about that. That wouldn't be the first time something bizarre in the fourth quarter at Calhoun has happened this year, by the way. Just saying. The other WIVC game tonight is in overtime, like I said. 42-42, Unity Payson and Pleasant Hill head to overtime. I can tell you that Pleasant Hill did score. It looks like maybe both teams have scored. And it looks like Unity just had its 2-point conversion stuffed, I think. Trying to follow along here so maybe we'll go into a second overtime. We're going to find out here in just a minute. Anyway, so back to the scores for Week 8 here as we head along. We head over to the Lincoln Trail Prairie Land Conference. Illini West qualifies for a playoff consideration with its 5th victory of the season. 5 in a row, by the way. Started the season 0-3. They've been quite a run here. Muddy River sports writer Shane Holsey was at this game, so he'll give you a full breakdown on the 46-12 victory over West Hancock. Took place in Hamilton tonight at Jim Replinger Field. Jim Replinger. Great guy. One of the first guys I had the chance to interview way back in the day when I first started in this business. Treated me with a ton of respect and showed me what a good coach, win or lose, could be, and how he dealt with the media, which was really cool when you're still a teenager and trying to figure this stuff out and learning the ropes. He was a great guy to deal with. So, Coach Rep, much respect. Macomb is in the playoffs. Win number 6 for the Bombers tonight, 41-7 over Bureau Valley. So the Bombers are back in the playoffs. Pittsfield still in this kind of limbo land with now maybe a chance to get to 4 wins and maybe get some, sneak in. I don't know. We'll see how the playoff points and all shake out here as we go into week 9. But the Saukeys pick up a 42-21 victory over Auburn. On the other side of the river, a ton of points scored tonight. I think every team that won in the 4 games on that side, on the Missouri side of the Mississippi, all scored 42 or more points. So Hannibal with a 57-14 victory over Marshall. The Pirates finished 4-1 in North Central Missouri Conference play. South Shelby beats Macon on the road, 42-21. Monroe City goes to Highland, wins 60-6. Centralia beats Palmyra, 44-12. And then we did have a Thursday night game this week. Mark Twain beat Louisiana in Eastern Missouri Conference play, 24-6. So there's your scores that we have so far. Again, we've got 2 games still ongoing. I'm trying to track what's happening with this Unity Pace and Pleasant Hill game. Unity Payson has the ball. It says it's 48-48. The game's on the NFHS network, so I'm kind of monitoring that as we go. We still have the Quincy High School game going on. Last check, that was 55-12 in the fourth quarter, and it is over now, 55-18. Quincy High School beats Geneseo, improves to 8-0 overall, 6-0 in the Western Big Six, 15 consecutive Western Big Six Conference victories. For the number 2 ranked team in Class 7A. The Blue Devils just keep churning along. I think Tykel Hammers had 3 touchdowns receiving tonight. I think Jarius Rice, had 4 touchdowns. So between the 2 of them, they're just a load. And Rico Clay had some nice plays. So interesting. I'm seeing text messages pop up. I think people are sending me some updates on some things going on from some of the questions I had about games earlier. So we'll get to all that. That way we can update you guys accurately and effectively so I don't misspeak, because I probably have. You can fact check me. It is okay to fact check me. I'm telling you, it is okay. I'm perfectly fine with that. Again, let's run through the scores one more time as we kind of break things down. Quincy High School with a 55-18 victory over Geneseo. Quincy Notre Dame beats Lincoln 54-12. We will update our graphic. Sorry, I missed that as I was trying to get everything done. Camp Point Central beats Carrollton 41-28. Calhoun over Brown County 31-16. Unity Payson and Pleasant Hill in overtime. Went to overtime tied at 42. I believe they're tied at 40. Oh, Unity Payson just went ahead 54-48 according to the NFHS network. So we'll keep you updated there. Illini West over West Hancock 46-12. Macomb beats Bureau Valley for win number 6. That's a 41-7 victory for the Bombers. Pittsfield over Auburn 42-21. Hannibal over Marshall 47-14. South Shelby over Macon 42-12. Monroe City over Highland 60-6. Centralia 44, Palmyra 12, and Mark Twain 24-6 over Louisiana. There's your Week 8 scoreboard. We're going to take a break. We're going to get set up. We're going to try to get some coaches on the United Systems hotline. And then we got a special guest coming in a little later this hour to talk some college football with a big rivalry game going on tomorrow here in Quincy. So we got a lot planned. We want to get to it. And hopefully Jack Cornell's out there, because I'm going to be reaching out to him and see if he'll join us here shortly to talk about the Raiders' big victory. So stick around. This is Muddy Night Lights, powered by Farm and Home Supply.
Hey, you. Yeah, you watching this video. Did you know this weekend at your local Farm and Home Supply, there's a bucket sale that literally sells itself? Yes, I'm telling you to come by me for only $3.99. You can get 15% off anything I can carry. Whether that's clothes and shoes, tools and pet food, or snacks and drinks, maybe something for hunting season. I mean, look at me. I'm so versatile. so spacious. This bucket sale's only this weekend. Stop by before this sale kicks the bucket.
Hey, grab me one too.
So what separates us most from all the other dealerships is the Toyota brand itself.
Once they buy a Toyota, they never buy anything else. Number one vehicle on the market, the best sedan on the market, some of the best reliable trucks on the market. And our main goal here is to try and get our customers the best payment possible.
We know the process and we pass that along to you.
We're simply looking to buy vehicles off the street.
And we want all makes and models of vehicles.
And you don't even have to buy anything in return. We'll just simply purchase it from you.
We can purchase a vehicle in 10 or 15 minutes or less.
Life's better when you're under the American Family Insurance roof because they know your house is home base for their dreams. Whether it's a kid like me aiming for the big leagues, ready? Future rocket scientist, or a budding prima ballerina. When you feel totally protected, your family's free to pursue their dreams. She's good.
Let's go.
American Family Insurance.
The Smart Start Transfer Career Academy lets you get your associate's degree early, starting in high school.
I graduated my associate's degree on Friday, 2 days before I graduated high school on Sunday.
It allowed me to get way, way ahead.
Having my prerequisites done is going to help me a lot, as I will get to start a year earlier than I would have without it.
It's really easy to make good connections with people that actually care about you. They helped me plan things out in a way that I definitely wouldn't have been able to do on my own. It made it really easy for me.
If you've been in a motor vehicle accident, contact McCleary Law.
There was nowhere to go. We were on a bridge.
All of a sudden, a guy started going over in our lane and hit us head on.
I couldn't even breathe. It was just unbelievable that it even happened.
We needed to get a hold of an attorney, and our first thoughts was to get a hold of Dan McCleary. Everything's pretty easy when you deal with Dan.
He got us way more than we expected to get.
We don't charge anything until we win your case. Call McCleary Law.
Anybody hear me? Oh, good. Welcome back to Monday Night Lights, powered by Farm and Home Supply. I'm River Sports Editor Matt Shuckman, hanging out in the Refreshment Services Pepsi studio, ready to break down some Friday night action with the bearded man. I got a great question to start with him. So let's go to the United Systems hotline and talk to Quincy Notre Dame coach Jack Cornell. Coach, you there?
Shuck Daddy, I'm here. You got me?
I got you. Thanks for taking a minute to join us.
Hey, man, well, listen, I think love Bob Goff to death. He's a great professional, does great stuff for your organization, but I'm much happier talking to you, so I'm glad to hear you're back on your feet and back at it, big guy.
It is good to be back in here. I'm telling you that. I tried to stay awake last Friday night, but I couldn't do it. The pain meds and the drugs they had me on knocked me out, and so I missed it. But you know me. You know I hate not being here on Friday night.
I know it, man. Believe me, I do.
So because of the short hospital stay and everything else, I haven't bothered to shave for the last 2 weeks, and I think, you know what, I'm just going to let the beard grow. What do you think?
Hey, man. Yes, sir. My man. That's what I'm talking about, Chuck.
We're just going to let it go. We'll see how it looks at the end of your playoff run, which will be late November, Thanksgiving weekend, right?
You're gonna be looking like me, man.
We'll see. That's a good look, though. I'm good with that. Well, another good win for the Raiders tonight. Sounded like you guys took care of business.
Yeah, it was a great night for our team, great night for our school and for our program. It was really a great week overall. I mean, we had a lot of fun this homecoming week. I was talking to Mark McDowell this morning at school, and I said, last night our pep assembly and the parade and everything was, as fun and memorable as one that I can remember. And, leading that into tonight, having a big win, really proud for our guys. They had a really good week of practice. I mean, they really did a good job of handling all the distractions that come with homecoming week. And just, really put their best foot forward. And I think that was why we got the result we did tonight.
Well, and I know and over the years, the number of times we've talked about the distractions of homecoming week that you just worry. That if they lose their focus just a little and make a mistake here and a mistake there, those things can snowball. I don't think anything snowballed on you tonight, did it?
No, I wouldn't say so. I think that I think we left some plays out there tonight. Certainly, I don't think we played our best, but maybe that's a good thing. I think we're still have room to improve and still can find ways to get better. But I felt like our guys were dialed in from the very beginning. There was some big league hitting going on tonight. I thought our defense did a great job of flying around, stapling guys to the ground, doing as good they can to cover in the back end, but not trying to let Lincoln's run game get going. And offensively, trying to keep things on the ground for us tonight really was effective. We also, did some good things through the air, tried to attack them that way. Special teams, had a score tonight. So I think in all three phases, I thought we played really well.
54-12 victory over Lincoln, improved to 7-1 overall heading into the Week 9 finale next week before we get to talk playoffs. And I think one of the big things I noticed tonight, and we've noticed it the last couple weeks, is coming back from injury. Ivan Hoon's been a monster, and he's just running through and over people, and that continued tonight, didn't it?
Oh yeah, Ivan's a load. He's 6'1", 220-pound running back with really good speed and agility. And even again tonight, I thought there were some more yards that he could have had out there. But what he was able to do for us tonight on the ground, I think, really opened things for us down the field, throwing through the air. And so I think that he certainly had a good game, but he couldn't have done it alone. His offensive line up front was really doing a good job of getting on their blocks, getting a hat on a hat, and trying to move guys out of the way just enough for Ivan to make a cut and go.
Well, remind your offensive linemen, because I hadn't had a chance to talk to you much this week, that next week I want to come out and spend some time with them. I got a couple story ideas for your offensive linemen because the big boys need some love too.
Hey, man, you're preaching to the choir with that, Chuck Daddy.
So I know you have a store you need to get to. I heard just before we went on the air you were making sure a store was still open. I can tell you it is still open, so go do your shopping that you need to do, and enjoy your rest of tonight, all right, my man?
I appreciate it, Chuck Daddy. Good to talk to you again.
You too. Thanks, buddy.
See ya. Go Raiders.
That was Quincy Notre Dame coach Jack Cornell joining us on the United Systems hotline following a 54-12 victory over Lincoln at Advanced Physical Therapy Field. Raiders are rolling. I'm telling you what, I know that Class 2A bracket's going to be tough, especially with Maroa Forsyth, the #1 team in the state, not too far away from here. So you got to probably figure those two teams are on a collision course somewhere down the road. But, man, I'm not sure if I'm a Class 2A team that I really want to take on Quincy Notre Dame when what we've seen the Raiders do in the Central State 8 Conference. So kudos to the Raiders for continuing to drive forward. Week 9 on the road. We'll have a full recap of that. Ben Marth in the house for us tonight here at Muddy River. So we'll have a full Ben Marth recap and looking forward to that from tonight's game. We are going to take another break. When we come back, my man Jason Kilday is in the studio, ready to talk a little college football, a little high school football, and who knows what else we talk over the next couple segments. So make sure you stick around. Big rivalry game coming up tomorrow here in the Q, and he and I will both be out at QU Stadium. I will be. We'll see if he shows up tomorrow or not. So stick around. This is Monday Night Lights, powered by Farm and Home.
Simply free checking with First Bankers Trust. No monthly fees and easy digital banking. Plus, show your school spirit with a Quincy Notre Dame Raiders Spirit Card. Get yours today and proudly support the QND Raiders all season long. Go Raiders!
Safety for your home. Security for your family. Communication for your business. Rely on locally owned United Systems to keep you connected. Contact us today for more information. United Systems.
Since 1929, We've been here to serve our communities with the best products and the best service. You are the reason we go to work every day, and we thank you for that. After all, we live where you do.
Neiman's, your neighborhood market.
My name is Jamie Kincaid, and we own Sterling Tax Service. I am a retired fireman. We came to Edwards Group originally to figure out where we were with our estate. For us, it was peace of mind that our daughter wouldn't have to try and figure out what was going on, because it would be impossible for her. It's an easy process. You get off the fence and do it, because you will appreciate it later.
Call Edwards Group today to schedule your path to peace of mind.
We believe that accessing care close to home is better for you and better for your family. For 120 years, Hannibal Regional has been committed to providing community-based, contemporary health care. From state-of-the-art surgical care to innovative cancer care, and now life-saving open-heart surgery. We are dedicated to expanding access to exceptional care in each of the communities we serve. Hannibal Regional, why go anywhere else?
Safety for your home, security for your family, communication for your business. Rely on locally owned United Systems to keep you connected. Contact us today for more information. United Systems.
Welcome back to Monday Night Lights, powered by Farm and Home Supply. I'm Muddy River Sports Editor Matt Shuckman, hanging out downtown Quincy in the Refreshment Services Pepsi studio. We have a final from P Hill. Unity Payson rallies in the final 2 minutes of regulation to force overtime, and then wins in overtime, 54-48. Down 2 touchdowns, I believe it was with 1:50 to go in regulation. Scored, recovered the onside kick, came down, had 1 play to go with 0.7 seconds left, scored, made the 2-point conversion, win it in double overtime. Quite a night. We'll see what the phone lines do going through the hills and hollers from Pike County to Adams County to see if we can get Matt Woodworth on the United Systems hotline here in hour number 2 tonight, because he deserves to talk about that effort from his guys. But right now, we're going to stick right here in the studio. Joining me from Quincy University, the skipper himself, Jason Kilday. What's up, buddy?
How we doing, Chuck?
I'm good. How are you tonight?
I'm doing well.
Thanks for staying up a little late. You know.
Yeah.
I know you. Do you put a lights out or a curfew on your guys on night before a game?
Our guys? Or,
yeah, your players?
No, not the players. No, just be ready to roll in the morning. 9 o'clock breakfast. So we'll get rolling. The kids, my kids had a curfew that was not well executed by Steph and I, but we were getting there.
Yes, but you know as well as I do, no matter what time Trey and Taylor get to bed tonight, they're going to be raring to go tomorrow. They're going to be more raring just to get on the field after the game.
That's fair. They are, and Trey was ready to go to the game on Wednesday.
So. Does not surprise me.
He doesn't understand what day it is, so that's tough.
There are days I don't think you and I understand what day it is.
No, maybe we're wrong.
Yeah,
Maybe he's got it right and we're the ones messed up.
I guarantee he's got it right, because you know what? When he's hungry, somebody feeds him.
That's right.
When he's ready to play, somebody plays with him.
It's not a bad life.
Not a bad life at all.
Nope.
Your guys will be ready to go. 1 o'clock tomorrow at QU Stadium. Truman State coming in. The traditional rivalry game, the Highway 6 game.
Yep.
Could you tell that amped up anything this week for your guys, being on this side of it for the first time in a while?
A little bit. I think more importantly, it was being humbled last week over at Indy. So definitely get back to work, get back to the basics, and come out, ready to prove yourself, moving into this Saturday to wash what happened last week out.
Because the fact of the matter is, even though you lost to Upper Iowa, had a good chance to win that game, had the lead in the fourth quarter. That one stung. That one probably hurt.
Yep.
This one's a little more gut punch, more, oh, are we good or are we not?
Right.
And so, like, tomorrow's a chance for them to come back out and remind everybody. Last week was bad, but we're still good.
Yep. No, it was, you know, we told the guys, hey, the last 4 minutes of the first half and the first 4 minutes of the second half, you know, we gave up a combined 21 points, and we only snapped the football 3 times. So, you know, that game gets away from you. It's 17-10 at half. It gets away from you pretty quickly. You know, it's 38-10 now. You've only snapped the ball 3 times.
Yeah.
You know, it's tough to come back from that against a good team, you know, and then to rebound and get back in it, we didn't have the right stuff that night.
Well, we talk so much about momentum at every level when it comes to this game, but I'm sitting here watching the end of this Pleasant Hill Unity Payson game. I mean, scored twice in the final 2 minutes and then win it in overtime. Yep. They seized onto the momentum and then rode it out to victory. You know, your guys need to find that momentum tomorrow, don't you?
Yeah, and just, you know, let the way I phrase it, we try to phrase it as a coaching staff is continue to apply momentum, apply pressure. You know, if you get a 3 and out on defense, offense put a good drive together, you know, punch it in the end zone, have a good kickoff, pin them deep, and then again, defense, hold them right there. Don't let them breathe. Just keep applying pressure.
Your message is getting through, by the way, because I think every time I've talked to your guys, whether it's at practice or after a game, somebody in the course of our conversations has said, well, you know, Coach always says apply pressure. Yep. So, I mean, they're hearing it. And I think so far they've done a pretty good job through 5 games of achieving it.
Well, part of that is I'm not very smart, Chuck, so I can't give too many messages. You know, I mean, keep it pretty simple just for me, just to, you know, I got to reinforce what I know.
Yeah, I know better, by the way. I do know better. What's tomorrow like going to be for you? You spent a whole bunch of years over at Truman, and now quote unquote came home because you had been here before. But you still know the guys there.
I do. No, you know, obviously a lot of the guys that either helped recruit or were there for the recruitment of them.
Yep.
A lot of them I coached personally, particularly on the offensive side of the football. You know, and then obviously Kellen and I, you know, being 2 coordinators together there for 8 years, grew really close. You know, you spend that much time with anybody, you know, you're going to become close. You're going to become like a family. So we had a lot of battles in spring and in fall camp, you know, where you're going against each other.
Right.
So, you know, we've competed against each other and we know what that feels like, but also, you know, at the end of the day, you're going to go over, shake each other's hand and, you know, probably have a conversation on Sunday about what you see from us, you know, in those things. So it's, for that, you know, it is competing against friends, but at the same time, you know, we'll never apologize for competing. And for them, they've been a good program for a long period of time, so it's a really good chance for us to see where we're at and what we need to work on.
Well, when you're the head coach at Quincy University and Truman State's on the other side, you want to beat their brains in.
Right. It doesn't matter who's across on that sideline.
Your brother Joe could be the head coach.
It does not matter.
Yeah.
You know, I mean, you're trying to be 1-0, and at the end of it, when you tee it up, and then you compete like crazy until the whistle hits, and then hug it up and move about your day.
I'm looking forward to tomorrow. I think it's going to be a lot of fun. Great weather.
Yeah, it's going to be perfect. It's going to be a perfect day.
Looking forward to that. I want to get to some high school football topics with you as we move forward, and I got a Winchester-related topic I want to throw your way.
Can't wait.
So let's take a break. We'll come back and pick
good.
it back up. All right. For Jason Kilday, I'm Matt Shuckman. We'll be back. We're going to take a break right now, so stick around. This is Muddy Night Lights, powered by Farm & Home.
I love to shop online, and one thing I'm not going to screw up is a piece of jewelry that I'm going to wear for the rest of my life.
And it's as simple as just being able to see it. Like, just being able to actually physically hold it and see it, that's different than like, oh, look, I'm on the internet. Like, that looks nice, I think.
Trying on rings and seeing different sizes and the different colors, and I just want to be able to touch and feel it and have the experience. Having the experience is going to be more important to me than just adding something to a cart and clicking buy now.
There are 3 things that she's going to get asked. How did he propose? how big's the diamond, and where did he get it?
I'm proud to tell my friends that, this is where I got my ring.
I don't know. It just seems like it's kind of a no-brainer.
From your trash to your recycling, you're doing your part. You can trust us to do ours. We're a team of people working hard for you, turning problems into solutions and waste into possibilities. We're Republic Services. We haul it, we recycle it, we convert it, we even electrify it. We work where you work. We live where you live. We are Republic Services.
When you're shopping at the grocery store, do you ever wonder where your beef comes from? Here at Jersey's, we do not. We know all of our beef comes directly from GJY Beef Company in Brown County. We know that these cattle are born and raised right here in our own backyard. So next time that you're looking for a juicy burger, ribeye sandwich, or mouth-watering steak, look no further than GJY Beef Company and Jersey's Bar and Grill, 109 East Jefferson, Cam Point, Illinois.
All right, I want you to stop and think for a second of something you might need for the fall. Well, whether it's warmer clothing, maybe something for the yard, or something to snack on, it's probably on sale during the Fall Dollar Day sale at your local farm and home supply. In fact, it might even be under $10. Here's some of the best-selling items at $5. What about $6? Then $8. And all these for only $10. See hundreds of other Fall Dollar Day sales at your local store right now at farmandhomesupply.com.
Sometimes life throws bold moments at you, like finding the perfect vacation or finding the ideal location. At BOS, we're there to help you meet those moments with bold confidence. So whether it's managing money for future plans or getting what you need to start planning your dream, we're here to bring you a better banking experience. Make the bold move and switch to BOS today.
Welcome back to Monday Night Lights, powered by Farm and Home Supply. It is 10:32 on a Friday night, and what better thing to be doing than talking high school football? So if you're out there and you're listening and watching, we appreciate you. And for those of you who are traveling, I know none of our Unity Payson fans are going to be able to check this out because their game's only been over about 10 minutes, if that. Make sure you check us out on Saturday morning or over the weekend. That's why we record everything. Give you a chance to watch it on your terms, on your time. So you can check us out at muddyriversports.com, muddyriver.tv, YouTube, and Facebook Live. So we hit all the platforms as possible to make sure we keep connected with you. And that Unity Payson game, I really hope we can get Matt Woodworth on the phone in hour number 2 to talk about that comeback. 54-48, double overtime victory over Pleasant Hill for the Mustangs. Again, a pretty interesting night score-wise. I'm going to run through the scoreboard real quick. Scoreboard brought to you by Schottenkirk Toyota. Quincy High School 58-12 over, or 55-18 over Geneseo. Scoreboard's not updated because that game took forever. Quincy Notre Dame 54-12 over Lincoln. Camp Point Central 41-28 over Carrollton. Calhoun 31, Brown County 16. Unity Payson 54-48 over Pleasant Hill in double overtime. Illini West beats West Hancock 46-12. Macomb over Bureau Valley 41-7. Pittsfield beats Auburn 42-21. Hannibal over Marshall 47-14. South Shelby over Macon 42-21. Monroe City beat Highland 60-6. Centralia beat Palmyra 44-12, and Mark Twain over Louisiana 24-6. That was a Thursday night game in the Eastern Missouri Conference. And we're sticking around right here in the Refreshment Services Pepsi studio. Jason Kilday, the Quincy University coach, hanging out with us. Thanks for coming in tonight.
Yeah, no problem. Anytime.
So you grew up in Winchester.
Yep.
So I had an interesting thing, right before I had to take a little time off. But I went to Colchester.
Okay.
And had lunch at a place called the Grill on Market Street.
Yep.
And had the Italian Horseshoe. Brigham John, the linebackers coach at Quincy High School, just basically convinced everybody we have to go try the Italian Horseshoe. It was like his favorite thing growing up, and he grew up in Macomb and stuff. If you had to pick one place in Winchester or around Winchester
Okay.
That has that sentimentality to it. That meal that you go, well, you got to go there and get this sandwich or this meal or whatever. Do you have one of those?
Well, they closed, but it was Buck and Joe's too, the breakfast place, and we used to play golf every Sunday morning. My brother Joe and my dad. Growing up, we'd play every Sunday morning, and occasionally we got all 9 holes in. Most of the time we didn't. Dad was done. The 6th hole was right by the clubhouse, so he was ready to roll most of the time after that. But we'd go to Buck and Joe's too, and I'd get the mess. It was whatever, sausage, bacon, whatever meat you wanted, scrambled eggs, hash browns, peppers, onions, and gravy over the top of it. So a large mess, and that'd be the one, but it's closed now. So
see, and I look back on growing up. I think of places that I went with my dad and my brother and my Uncle Charles. When we'd go duck hunting, we'd always go to this place downtown called Mom's. And in typical fashion, I was always scrambled eggs and bacon. And
hard to go wrong.
And toast with grape jelly.
Yeah.
When you're 6, 7, 8 years old, that's
all you need.
That's all you need.
Yep.
And I still remember sitting there one time watching a guy put ketchup on top of his eggs. And it was like, what in the world is going on? And you're 8 years old. You don't know any different,
right.
unless your dad does it or something. But it's funny how, in talking with Brigham, his parents had taken him to a place called Pagliai's Pizza in Macomb, and that's where he first had the Italian horseshoe.
Oh, yeah.
You talk about going with Joe and your dad. And I think of going with my brother Greg and Uncle Charles and my dad. It's funny how that family tie.
Right, and those Sunday morning, it wasn't so much about golf. It was just about being out there, and sometimes Dad would impart wisdom, sometimes he wouldn't. And, but we were definitely competing to see who was going to shoot better. I know that.
Oh, I can imagine that.
Yeah.
I've been around you and your brothers.
Yep.
And I can see where your dad imparted some wisdom, because I hear different things from all of you guys that I can tell comes from Dad.
Oh yeah.
And I'm sure Dad imparted some wisdom on Friday nights after football games.
He did. He would have a few things to say.
Yeah. What was that like for you, growing up with older brothers and that stuff on those post game Friday nights? Like you see what the guys are dealing with when they go over and hug Mom and talk to Dad and stuff.
Dad was pretty quiet. He didn't say much. My mom was more the one to get on your tail about anything. But Dad didn't, and Joe, really, he coached. My brother Joe coached, so it was always from a coaching perspective. So it was a little tougher on times. But the amazing thing to me is because it was 7. We had 7 kids. There's 7 of us.
Right.
I don't remember a game where Mom and Dad both weren't there. Whether it was down in Pleasant Hill in the rain, or down in Calhoun, and they were there. So it was always, that's something that really impacted me.
And I can do the same thing, because I remember even my mom was a stay-at-home mom. I'm the youngest of 6, so she raised us kids at home. But I remember Dad would show up, because you played baseball in the summer, was during games at the Quincy Park District and stuff were during the day.
Yep.
Dad was always there.
Right.
Somehow, some way, he was always there.
Yep.
Didn't say a whole lot after the game.
No.
But then we'd end up in the backyard, and he'd show me something, or, hey, why didn't you do this? Why didn't you do that? Or
no,
They were always there.
Always there. Even I played 3 sports, and it didn't matter, football, basketball, or baseball. He'd show up a Tuesday down in Brussels, and at 4 o'clock, first pitch, and he'd be there, and he'd give you a ride home and pick up a cheeseburger and call it good.
Yeah. Well, and that's a cool thing. I know your brothers and your sister and stuff are at QU games.
Yep.
The family has its box at a QU stadium, and that's truly what it is. It's family.
It is, and I told Raby that after they hired me when you get one of us, you get all of us. So be ready for that. And there's going to be a couple members of the family who think they should get keys to every aspect of the stadium. So.
I won't mention any of them named Joe at all.
No.
Well,
and so he'll and you're just going to have to deal with it, because he doesn't take no for an answer.
When you see a team like just like tonight, Unity Payson goes to Pleasant Hill and finds a way to win that game. As a college coach, and you're seeing high school kids find a way to get it done.
Right. Competitive strain, competitive endurance, and football's a funny game that way. It's life. You know, things are going to go your way, and nothing really matters till the clock says 0. You know, so you just got to keep playing. And you know, I was talking to some of the guys today in one of the better games I've been a part of. We were at I was at Truman State. We were at Tiffin, and they were number 12 in the nation at the time, and they came out in the first quarter, and I mean we were about to be boat raced. It wasn't pretty. It was 21-0.
I'll say it was a three touchdown game.
Yeah, and then we got a drive, we scored, got a stop, kicked a field goal, got a kickoff return for a touchdown right before halftime, and we kind of went back and forth, and Cody Schrader kind of took the game over in the second half, but we were still down 2 scores with 4 minutes to go, and Nolan Hare made some plays, and got 1 touchdown, got an onside kick. Went down, scored again, and got a 2-point conversion, and walk out of there with a win that, early on, nobody would have thought we had it. So anytime you can see a team score, get an onside kick, college, pros, high school, it's a special deal.
I believe your comment after that game, if I remember correctly, was found a way.
Found a way. No one asks you really, it doesn't matter how.
Right.
They just ask you if you won. They don't ask you how you won. They just ask you if you won. So if you can just find a way and just keep punching, and that's competitive strain at its highest level.
Well, we saw a bunch of teams locally find a way to win tonight. A couple of them punched their tickets to the playoffs.
Yep.
And time to move on to Saturday.
That's right.
And we'll be out at QU Stadium.
We'll be there
for a fun afternoon.
Should be a great day.
Awesome. Well, 1 o'clock Saturday, QU Stadium. Truman State comes calling. Good luck tomorrow.
Appreciate it.
Thanks for taking the time to come in tonight and hang out.
Anytime.
And we'll see you tomorrow.
All right, sounds good.
Awesome, man. That was Quincy University coach Jason Kilday joining us here in the Refreshment Services Pepsi studio. Hawks at home tomorrow. Looking forward to that. I'll be out there hanging out on the sideline as usual with the Hawks and bringing you full coverage of Quincy University football. But before we get to that, we still got another hour, 20 minutes of talking prep football tonight. So make sure you stick with us. We'll be back in just a couple minutes here on Muddy Night Lights, powered by Farm and Home Supply.
So what separates us most from all the other dealerships is the Toyota brand itself.
Once they buy a Toyota, they never buy anything else. #1 vehicle on the market, the best sedan on the market, some of the best reliable trucks on the market. And our main goal here is to try and get our customers the best payment possible.
We know the process and we pass that along to you.
We're simply looking to buy vehicles off the street.
And we want all makes and models of vehicles.
And you don't even have to buy anything in return. We'll just simply purchase it from you.
We can purchase a vehicle in 10 or 15 minutes or less.
Since 1929, we've been here to serve our communities with the best products and the best service. You are the reason we go to work every day, and we thank you for that. After all, we live where you do.
Muddy Night Lights is also brought to you by Town & Country Inn and Nationwide Transportation.
The Smart Start Transfer Career Academy lets you get your associate's degree early, starting in high school.
I graduated my associate's degree on Friday, 2 days before I graduated high school on Sunday.
It allowed me to get way, way ahead.
Having my prerequisites done is going to help me a lot, as I will get to start a year earlier than I would have without it.
It's really easy to make good connections with people that actually care about you. They helped me plan things out in a way that I definitely wouldn't have been able to do on my own. It made it really easy for me.
I love to shop online, and one thing I'm not going to screw up is a piece of jewelry that I'm going to wear for the rest of my life.
And it's as simple as just being able to see it. Like, just being able to actually physically hold it and see it. That's different than like, oh, look, I'm on the internet. Like, let me just, that looks nice, I think.
Trying on rings and seeing different sizes and the different colors, and I just want to be able to touch and feel it and have the experience. Having the experience is going to be more important to me than just adding something to a cart and clicking buy now.
There are 3 things that she's going to get asked. How did he propose? How big's the diamond? And where did he get it?
I'm proud to tell my friends that, this is where I got my ring.
I don't know. It just seems like it's kind of a no-brainer.
Welcome back to Monday Night Lights, powered by Farm and Home Supply. I'm Muddy River Sports Editor Matt Shuckman, hanging out in downtown Quincy at the Refreshment Services Pepsi Studio, talking high school football. Again, I apologize I wasn't around last week, but it's good to be back. It's been good. It's been fun to follow everything that's gone on tonight. Some really good things. We've seen some teams punch their tickets to the playoffs. We've seen some teams with some incredible comebacks. So we got a lot to get to over the next hour plus. But right now, we're going to stay in studio. Muddy River sports writer Shane Holsey is back from Hancock County, having watched the Illini West Chargers find their way into the playoffs for the first time since 2018, correct?
That is correct.
Well, welcome back to town.
Yeah, just walked at the door about 5 minutes ago.
Good timing.
Yep, perfect.
I bet the Chargers celebrated just a little tonight.
A little bit.
They got through that.
Yes, they did, and good for them to not have to play a win or go home game in Week 9 like they have the last 3 years. Punch their ticket in Week 8. Not that you can ever relax in the game of football, but you could sleep a little better, rest a little easier knowing you're in.
And we know there's an outside chance that somebody doesn't get in. A 5-4 team wouldn't get in. There's an outside chance a 4-5 team could get in. There's some variations that could happen. But with their playoff points and the schedule they've played, they're pretty secure that they're in with 5 wins, which is good for them. It'll mean a first-round road game. More than likely.
More than likely, yeah.
Unless they win Week 9 and 6. Weirder things have happened. More than likely they're going on the road, but they're in. Yeah. And the fact of the matter is they started the season 0-3.
0-3.
And they've won 5 straight to make sure they're in. What was it that you saw tonight from the Chargers that made you go, there's the reason they're in the playoffs?
Well, in the first half, on both sides, very mistake-prone, a lot of penalties. But the defense for them, especially the last couple games, has been that defense. They shut out West Hancock in the second half. And the only points they gave up in the first half were on a blown coverage on a 66-yard touchdown pass, and then West Hancock had 4th and 10, 2 offsides penalties, gave them a first down, and they went down and scored. Those are the only points Illini West gave up against a team that scored 52 last week.
Well, that's the thing. And West Hancock has scored on everybody this year. They haven't stopped very many people, but they've put up some points.
Yes, they have.
And so to shut them down is pretty impressive.
Yeah, forced 2 fumbles, had an interception. Those guys are flying around the secondaries. They got athletes at every level of that defense. The front 7 and the secondary is very, very good.
Not a bad day for Illini West in general. The boys golf team advanced to the second day of the state finals. They were in the top 8 at the end of today's play in the Class 1A tournament at Prairie Vista. So not at all a bad day for Illini West.
Good times in Chargerland.
Yeah. So what Jacob Calvin have to say afterward about the way his team played tonight?
He's just proud of the way these guys have rallied after an 0-3 start. They didn't. A lot of teams would have, bowed their heads and just kind of packed the season in. He said they've stuck to the same schedule. They've done the same things. They've stuck to it. They stuck to their process, and he wasn't pleased with the first half, but the second half to respond how they did was quite impressive and kind of showed what they're made of.
Yeah, they've got one more week now. They play Tuscola next week at a neutral site game. They're meeting at
Thursday.
It's at Springfield Sacred Heart Griffin.
Yep.
So winner, could get to 6 wins and improve their playoff seeding. The Chargers could and really carry some strong momentum into the postseason if they can do that.
Yeah, and this is one of the more fun stories around to start 0-3 and then rattle off 5. I don't know what the numbers are or if we could even find them, but I doubt there's a small handful of teams that have started 0-3 and still found a way to still make the playoffs.
So
stuff to do.
Good. Well, I know you got other work to do. You got to get some photos edited and a story written, and that way we make sure we keep everybody updated at muddyriversports.com.
Of course.
So thanks for taking the time to chat with us. Now get some work done. That was Muddy River Sports writer Shane Holsey joining us here in the Refreshment Services Pepsi studio, talking about the Illini West victory over West Hancock tonight. You can read all about it tomorrow morning at muddyriversports.com. We are going to take a break. We're going to talk to another coach who's guaranteed a playoff spot with his team's victory tonight when we come back. So stick around. This is Muddy Night Lights, powered by Farm and Home Supply.
Looking for a new hangout or a place to eat? Gabe welcomes you to the Silver Dollar. Delicious menu options, daily lunch and drink specials, and 6 gambling machines. Come hang out on the patio with friends at the Silver Dollar, 7403 Broadway. Gaming and grill up on the hill. Silver Dollar.
Life's better when you're under our roof.
Your policy's updated.
Because we know your house is where their dreams begin.
Impressive.
Thanks, Caleb. And our agents are here to help you feel protected so your family can pursue their dreams. Bundle life and save up to 25% on home and auto. American Family Insurance.
Neiman's, your neighborhood market.
As a new hunting season begins, we observe a species most rare, the hunter incompetus. The hunting ritual begins. Already he stakes his claim by bringing a duck call to a deer hunt. Disaster strikes. A devastating blow to a long-suffering species. There may be no helping the hunter incompetus, but for everyone else, no other place has it all like Farm and Home Supply.
Tell my mom to pick me up soon. Hey, grab me one too.
Muddy Night Lights is also brought to you by Town & Country Inn and Nationwide Transportation.
Looking for a new hangout or a place to eat? Gabe welcomes you to the Silver Dollar. Delicious menu options, daily lunch and drink specials, and 6 gambling machines. Come hang out on the patio with friends at the Silver Dollar, 7403 Broadway. Gaming and grill up on the hill. Silver Dollar.
For 125 years, Hollister Whitney has designed and manufactured solutions for the vertical transportation industry right here in Quincy, Illinois. Now you have the chance to be a vital part of this quality-driven, family-oriented team. We have salaried and hourly positions available, both with excellent benefits and very competitive wages. Cutting-edge technology, a dynamic, engaging, and flexible work environment, the opportunity to achieve your full potential. Elevate your career to the next level at Hollister Whitney.
Welcome back to Muddy Night Lights, powered by Farm and Home Supply. It's been a fun first hour talking high school and college football. Thanks for Quincy University coach Jason Kilday stopping in the studio to hang out and talk a little bit about high school Friday nights. And I love what he said. He said before he left, he mentioned that the playoff pairing show that Illinois does, which will be next week, how that night is so much fun for teams. How you watch and you prepare, and you've done all this work, and now you're in, and now you get to find out where the path ahead takes you, and how everybody's kind of giddy on that night, and then and then you go straight to work. You got to get game film, and you got to start prepping. But that's one of the most fun nights of the season. And for several of our area teams, they're going to get to experience that next weekend, including this guy who's joining us now on the United Systems Hotline, and that's Macomb coach Tanner Horrell, because the Bombers are in. Coach, how are you?
Great. You just got me all excited for week 9 and then that Saturday night.
Isn't it true, though? Isn't that Saturday night so much fun?
Oh, it's awesome. We get the guys together. A couple years ago, we went to Sports Corner right next door, and we had everybody up there, and TSSR did their whole thing with the show. Yep. And then we had all the players talked, and it was a great time.
Well, you get to start planning for doing something next for Saturday night.
Absolutely.
Because now you're guaranteed to be in with your 6th win of the season. Congrats.
Thank you. Appreciate it.
Took down Bureau Valley tonight. 41-7. What'd the Bombers do well tonight?
I thought we played all 3 phases really well. Offensively, or defensively, we came out and got a quick stop and went down and scored on our first possession. And then we kind of just stuck with it. They beat us on one pass play that really is really how they got their touchdown. So we felt like defensively played really well, contained their run a lot better than we had the last 2 weeks. And then we got an onside kick. Braden distributed the football extremely well to all 4 or 5 of our receivers that caught passes tonight, and we ran the ball more effectively.
How important was tonight to get you guys back on track?
It was huge. The last 2 weeks we were a couple plays away from being 7-0.
Yeah.
And things didn't go our way, and that's football. When you play good football teams, you're not always going to come out on top. Last year we went through that little skid and we never recovered. So just getting back to it and finding success was huge for us. But our guys were locked in the entire week. They've been locked in all season. So I felt pretty good. But you get on that little losing skid, you got to get out as quick as possible.
Well, and those are 2 really good teams you played. 2 teams that were combined 13-1 going into tonight. But you were a hair away from beating both of them. Did your guys take that to heart? Did your guys take that to heart, knowing this wasn't like, okay, you got your head bashed in or something like that, like they could have won those games if one play is different?
Oh, I mean, on the Farmington game, we had guys with tears in their eyes, and that's how much it means to them. Yeah. We were battling for a conference championship, and maybe it's a blocked extra point, or we give up a 3rd and long, or a pass is a foot too short. And those are the differences. And our guys, we've showed them on film, one play makes a difference in the game. So every play you got to be ready to go. And they've been locked in, and obviously Elmwood was a tough game. We weren't as sharp as we wanted to be, but they came back this week, and I just felt like we were locked in, and we played our game.
The ability to come back and put those struggles behind you speaks to maturity. This team, just because of the experience it gained last year, has really been to showcase some of that maturity this year, hasn't it?
Yeah, we lost some key pieces from last year, but we felt like our core was back. We had almost the entire offensive line. We had great skill guys coming back. So we've built on that experience, and they knew what it felt like last year when we went to Mercer County with our backs against the wall and came up 6 points short or 8 points short. Yep. We don't want to feel that again. So they were locked in, and they wanted to get that 6 win. We knew we were probably in with 5, but you don't want to go in with 5 wins. We don't want to go in with 6 wins. We want to try to host a playoff game next week or in 2 weeks. Yep. So we got to take care of business against Savannah.
Well, you got momentum on your side now, and week 9 victories tend to lead to week 10 victories. We've seen it happen a lot, and so there you go.
Yeah, absolutely. Keep the momentum going your way.
Awesome, man. Well, hey, I know you're headed home, so thanks for taking the time to join us, and good luck, and we'll be talking to you here as we prepare for the playoffs.
Yeah, thank you. Thanks for having me.
Awesome, man. Have a good night.
You too.
That was Macomb coach Tanner Horrell joining us on the United Systems Hotline. The Bombers are in the playoffs. Victory number 6 tonight. We got several teams in our area that are already in. We got more teams that could get in. We got a lot to break down still. So we're going to take a break. We're going to come back in hour number 2. We're going to kick it off with Scoreboard, talking about some of those playoff possibilities. And then we're going to head back to the United Systems Hotline because we got a league champion coach ready to join us here in about 10 or 15 minutes. So make sure you stick around. This is Muddy Night Lights, powered by Farm and Home.
Sometimes life throws bold moments at you, like finding the perfect vacation or finding the ideal location. At BOS, we're there to help you meet those moments with bold confidence. So whether it's managing money for future plans or getting what you need to start planning your dream, we're here to bring you a better banking experience. Make the bold move and switch to BOS today.
Looking for a new hangout or a place to eat? Gabe welcomes you to the Silver Dollar. Delicious menu options, daily lunch and drink specials, and 6 gambling machines. Come hang out on the patio with friends at the Silver Dollar, 7403 Broadway. Gaming and grill up on the hill. Silver Dollar.
Hi, I'm Rory O'Donnell with the O'Donnell Cooks and Life Celebration Home. As a Quincy University alum, I understand the impact a local business has on area athletics. That is why the O'Donnell Cooks and Life Celebration Home takes pride in supporting local athletic teams. We want to wish all of our area teams the best of luck this season. The O'Donnell Cooks and Life Celebration Home of Quincy, supporting local athletics for 5 generations.
Looking for a new hangout or a place to eat? Gabe welcomes you to the Silver Dollar. Delicious menu options, daily lunch and drink specials, and 6 gambling machines. Come hang out on the patio with friends at the Silver Dollar, 7403 Broadway. Gaming and grill up on the hill. Silver Dollar.
We believe that accessing care close to home is better for you and better for your family. For 120 years, Hannibal Regional has been committed to providing community-based, contemporary health care. From state-of-the-art surgical care to innovative cancer care, and now life-saving open-heart surgery. We are dedicated to expanding access to exceptional care in each of the communities we serve. Hannibal Regional, why go anywhere else?
Motor vehicle accidents are traumatic situations, and oftentimes they can result in very significant and permanent injuries. In Steve and Paula's case, they were hit by a drunk driver on the bridge. They realized very quickly that it was a significant accident and that they deserved to be reasonably compensated. Now, having worked for the insurance companies for several years, I know how to best present your case. If you've been in a motor vehicle accident, call McCleary Law.
From your trash to your recycling, you're doing your part. You can trust us to do ours. We're a team of people working hard for you, turning problems into solutions and waste into possibilities. We're Republic Services. We haul it, we recycle it, we convert it, we even electrify it. We work where you work. We live where you live. We are Republic Services.
Welcome back to Muddy Night Lights, powered by Farm and Home Supply. I'm Muddy River Sports Editor Matt Schuckman. We are in downtown Quincy at the Refreshment Services Pepsi Studio. You can find us online on a bunch of platforms. You can find us at muddyriversports.com, muddyriver.tv, YouTube, Facebook Live. We record every show, so you can check us out if you don't get the opportunity to watch us live. You can come back on Saturday or Sunday and check us out. You can go find your favorite segment. You know, and you never know what we're going to talk about. It might be food, it might be music, a lot of football, obviously, but you never know what might come up in conversations. We've got some guests lined up to join us here in hour number 2. Quincy High School Rick Little will join us for the First Bankers Trust QHS update here in about 10 minutes. David Kirby of Monroe City is going to join us on the United Systems hotline. We're trying to effort to get Matt Woodworth, the Unity pacing coach, on after their dramatic victory over Pleasant Hill. But we know they're on the road and on the bus, and you never know what cell reception is going through Pike County and Adams County. So we're doing our best to get him on the line and talk a little bit more about that. But again, an incredible night of football here in Week 8 of the prep football season. And let's run through your Week 8 scoreboard presented by Schottenkirk Toyota, also your sponsor of Shuck on a Truck. Got 2 cool Shuck on a Trucks that we recorded, so make sure you get online and check those out. One with the new ownership group, bringing Summer League Baseball back to Quincy. And Hannibal Soccer gets a Shuck on a Truck this week. So we'll have a Shuck on a Truck on Saturday and one on Monday. So those are brought to you by Schottenkirk Toyota. Shout out for the Toyota Tundras. Sweet rides. Your Week 8 scoreboard. Quincy High School with a 55-18 victory over Geneseo to finish undefeated in the Western Big Six Conference. Back-to-back undefeated conference seasons. The Blue Devils have now won 15 consecutive Western Big Six Conference games. That is second most all time. The record is 16. So when they kick off next season, they're going to be record chasing. Quincy Notre Dame with a 54-12 victory over Lincoln. Camp Point Central over Carrollton, 41-28. Calhoun over Brown County, 31-16. Got some stuff to learn about that game still. We're still efforting some explanations there. Unity Payson, 54-48 over Pleasant Hill in double overtime. What a barn burner that was. Illini West punches its playoff ticket with a 46-12 victory over West Hancock. Macomb, victory number 6. Bombers are in the playoffs, 41-7 over Bureau Valley. Pittsfield, 42-21 over Auburn. Hannibal, 57-14 over Marshall in North Central Missouri Conference play. South Shelby gets back in the swing of things with a 42-21 victory over Macon. Monroe City, 60-6 over Highland. Centralia, 44-12 over Palmyra. And on Thursday night, Mark Twain beat Louisiana 24-6 in Eastern Missouri Conference play. And again, I mentioned a couple games there. There was something curious that happened on a kickoff in the Brown County game. Hornets led Calhoun 16-15 in the fourth quarter. Calhoun scores, goes up, 23-16. Kickoff happens. Next thing you know, they're recovering it for a touchdown. It was weird. The video, the live stream didn't show exactly what had happened. It did show what looked like to be the referee standing on the goal line with his arm waving touchback. I don't know. I'll have to get an explanation from Brown County coach Tom Little. I wish I could explain it, but suddenly what looked like to be a one-possession game with 5 minutes to go turned into a two-possession deficit, and Brown County didn't recover after that. Strange things happened in the fourth quarter at Calhoun, and I think anybody in Adams and Brown County realize that this season. So you just never know what might happen. And I'm not saying it was anything sketchy. I'm trying to say that it's just strange things happen in games, and you just never know, how it's going to play out. So I don't want all the Calhoun people mad at me. I'm not saying anything was disingenuous. I'm just saying strange things happen late in games. And the same thing could be said in Pleasant Hill in Pike County tonight, where Unity Payson rallies in the final 2 minutes to tie and force overtime with Pleasant Hill, and then wins it in double overtime. So some incredible efforts tonight, some really unique games. And we got more teams playoff bound. So kind of going down the playoff schedule and what's up next. You've got teams next week. Brown County will be playing for its playoff life next week. There's an outside chance if Pittsfield wins next week. Somehow, some way, the Saukees could sneak in. I haven't looked at the playoff points to see how close to being on that edge they are, but 4 and 5 teams have snuck in. So you just never know sometimes what's going to happen here in the last couple of weeks. And then you've got some great things happening as teams get prepared for the playoff pairing show, which will come to you a week from Saturday. The HSA does a great job of releasing its football playoff pairings on Saturday night with a show, and teams get together and celebrate their achievements, and it's a really cool thing to have happen. So we look forward to that. We'll bring you complete coverage of that next weekend. But we got a lot still to talk about in Week 8, including Quincy High School winning another Western Big Six Conference championship. So we're going to take a break. When we come back, Quincy High School coach Rick Little will join us on the United Systems hotline as we talk about the Blue Devils' victory over Geneseo for the First Bankers Trust update. So stick around. This is Muddy Night Lights, powered by Farm and Home Supply.
Hey you. Yeah, you watching this video. Did you know this weekend at your local Farm and Home Supply there's a bucket sale that literally sells itself? Yes, I'm telling you to come by me for only $3.99. You can get 15% off anything I can carry. Whether that's clothes and shoes, tools and pet food, or snacks and drinks, maybe something for hunting season. I mean, look at me. I'm so versatile, so spacious. This bucket sale's only this weekend. Stop by before this sale kicks the bucket.
Hey, grab me one too.
So what separates us most from all the other dealerships is the Toyota brand itself.
Once they buy a Toyota, they never buy anything else. #1 vehicle on the market, the best sedan on the market, some of the best reliable trucks on the market. And our main goal here is to try and get our customers the best payment possible.
We know the process and we pass that along to you.
We're simply looking to buy vehicles off the street.
And we want all makes and models of vehicles.
And you don't even have to buy anything in return. We'll just simply purchase it from you.
We can purchase a vehicle in 10 or 15 minutes or less.
Life's better when you're under the American Family Insurance roof because they know your house is home base for their dreams. Whether it's a kid like me aiming for the big leagues, ready, future rocket scientist, or a budding prima ballerina. When you feel totally protected, your family's free to pursue their dreams. She's good.
Let's go.
American Family Insurance.
The Smart Start Transfer Career Academy lets you get your associate's degree early, starting in high school.
I graduated my associate's degree on Friday, 2 days before I graduated high school on Sunday.
It allowed me to get way, way ahead.
Having my prerequisites done is going to help me a lot as I will get to start a year earlier than I would have without it.
It's really easy to make good connections with people that actually care about you. They helped me plan things out in a way that I definitely wouldn't have been able to do on my own. It made it really easy for me.
If you've been in a motor vehicle accident, contact McCleary Law.
There was nowhere to go. We were on a bridge.
All of a sudden, a guy started going over in our lane and hit his head on.
I couldn't even breathe. It was just unbelievable that it even happened.
We needed to get a hold of an attorney, and our first thoughts was to get a hold of Dan McCleary. Everything's pretty easy when you deal with Dan.
He got us way more than we expected to get.
We don't charge anything until we win your case. Call McCleary Law.
Welcome back to Muddy Night Lights, powered by Farm and Home Supply. I'm Muddy River Sports Editor Matt Shuckman. We are in hour number 2 of our weekly high school football breakdown show. Love Friday nights when we get to talk prep football. And we are headed to the United Systems hotline to break it down with Quincy High School coach Rick Little as the Blue Devils head home from Geneseo with a 55-18 victory. Coach, how are you?
Hey, good. It's always a good it's always a great feeling to win. And obviously the second conference championship in a row is a great thing. And yeah, excited for the team and kind of where we're going.
Back-to-back conference titles, back-to-back undefeated runs through the league, and now 15 consecutive Western Big Six conference victories for the Blue Devils. You guys are on quite a roll, aren't you?
You know we are, and obviously it's a special time. We have obviously a special group of players, special group of coaches that do a great job, and just a special team. You know, a team that's put a lot of work in, and you know they trust the work each and every Friday, and you know so far so good. It's been a great run with these guys. We want it to continue and set the bar even higher.
Did I see correctly? You had a Western Big Six conference championship banner for them to celebrate with tonight.
Yeah, so that we did, and that was something that's not really our style as far as it's just not, but it's also special, right? And sometimes you roll the dice, and you know that was a this week type decision, and guys obviously enjoyed it, and something we're very proud of.
Well, and everything's a step in the process. You win a conference title, get to the playoffs, win playoff games, get deeper in the But you have to start at one spot, and that's a week 1 victory, and then you move on to, and now you've hit another marker with the conference title. Do they understand that this is just a marker along the way?
Yeah, I think something too about these guys, and it's going to sound super. I hope it doesn't come off as arrogant, but they're just used to winning, right? They're used to winning, and they expect to win, which is a great place to be. But at the same time, like I told him, like, you never want to, like, this is a big deal. Like, you don't ever want to just act like, oh, whatever, another conference championship, moving on. We want them to move on. We want them to kind of chase other things. But I think you do have to understand, like, hey, this is a special deal. Like, you won back-to-back conference championships. You've gone undefeated in the Western Big Six the last 2 years. It's a long time since you lost your last regular season game, and that's something that I'm very, very proud of. But at the same time, I want them to go chasing more. But I do want them to appreciate it in the moment as well. And I think that that we had a good conversation about that, and I think that they realize that.
Well, and knowing your guys and knowing their expectations, they don't want this to be the highlight of the season. So I'm assuming they're going to come back tomorrow when you watch film or do the things you do on a Saturday, that they're going to come back ready to go. Yeah,
they are, and that's what, like I said, I don't want this to go too fast for them. I want them to enjoy every step along the way. But yeah, you're right, man. I mean, they're a team that's just like, okay, what's next? What's next? Let's go get this. Let's go get this. And that is a cool thing. You want them to be hungry and chase things. And I think that they understand that. But I also, like I said, I know I feel like I'm repeating myself a little bit. I want them to appreciate what they've done, and I certainly am proud of them.
Saw a lot of balance from your offense tonight and ability to move the ball on the ground just as efficiently as you were able to through the air. If you can maintain that kind of balance, makes you infinitely more dangerous, doesn't it?
It does. I mean, it's obviously there's just so many weapons, and that's something we talk about a lot, and so many guys that execute at a high level. Like, I think that just kind of glance at the stat sheet. I think there was only 2 incompletions all night.
Yeah.
The offensive line's doing a great job protecting. Receivers are catching the football, and just like I said, playing at a super high level and executing very well. So, like, when you have this ability on all sides of the ball, offense, defense, and our special teams, we got to continue to work on, and continue to get better at. But there's a lot of positives to build off of.
I got to admit, I feel bad for your defense, because the defense has been really good this year, week in and week out, and the offense has been so spectacular, the defense has gotten overlooked a lot. But your defense continues to make plays start to finish, doesn't it?
Yeah, it's special, and I think that's what really. Again, I never want to compare teams or years, but the defense, when it's so cliche, but it's so true. Defense wins championships, and here's another one that we won in the Big Six, and that's special. And I think it starts and ends with those those guys on defense and just getting the ball back to the offense, and it's just a great group of guys that. And the thing I think I love about it the most is that offense roots for the defense roots for the offense, and I mean, it doesn't matter who gets credit or anything. It's just a great group of guys that truly get it.
Okay, did the coaching staff get its pregame pizza tonight?
So they did. So Brigham, he's sitting next to me here, so he always delivers. Like I do, I give him a hard time, but yeah, he is very good about setting it up, making sure we don't miss a step. So where was the pizza from tonight? Daddy. Danny boys, and
okay.
I really liked it. Very similar to the Moline Harris pizza.
Okay,
but both of them were good. I mean, I think we talked about too. All these reviews we do, we don't be careful not to offend anybody. But I thought Danny boys hit the spot. It was excellent.
I've never had Danny boys. I've had Harris pizza in Moline. And I know it's very good. So
So just to give the listeners a little more info. So 7.3 was the rating overall. Now, keep in mind that 10 is not really obtainable.
Right.
So when you look at it from that regard, you're looking at a pretty good score for a pretty good pizza there.
Yeah. No, and especially if that's the aggregate score, and that I can see one person going, "Oh man, I love this. I'm going to give it a 7.5." And everybody else is going, it's all right. It's a 5.5 or something. But if
there's some critics for sure. There's some critics for sure. That's what makes it great. Is that everybody's got different. Some people complain about not and the other, but I thought it was excellent. So some people say too much sausage, but that's kind of how that pizza's made, right? That's what they do there. So very, very happy with obviously the play of the Blue Devils and the pizza tonight.
Can't go wrong. Good pizza, good football, and hopefully a good ride home.
That's it, man. That's it. And you're back, man. We're glad to have you back.
Thanks.
I mean, the backup quarterbacks did a good job in your absence, but it's good to hear your voice again here.
Well, I appreciate that, man. It's good to be back under center and running the offense. So I can't wait to catch up with you guys more this week.
Hey, thanks, Jack. Appreciate it.
Thanks, man. Be safe.
Yeah, you bet.
That was Quincy High School coach Rick Little joining us for the First Bankers Trust Quincy High School update on the United Systems Hotline. Blue Devils with a 55-18 victory at Geneseo tonight. Perfect in the Western Big Six for the second straight season. 15 straight Big Six victories now. They're rolling. They're just rolling, and they're getting it done on every level. It's impressive. It's impressive the numbers they are racking up. I've never seen anything like it. Braden Little, by the way, 424 yards and 5 touchdown passes tonight. Tykel Hammers, 7 catches, 225 yards, 3 touchdowns. Jarius Rice Jr., 10 rushes, 141 yards. He also caught 6 passes for 81 yards. And how many touchdowns did he end up with? I think 3. A bundle, that's for sure. 4, I guess. Man, it's impressive. It's impressive. So we can't thank Coach Little for joining us. When we come back, we're going to talk to David Kirby of Monroe City. Panthers got another victory tonight in Clarence Cannon Conference play, and they may be primed to do something in the postseason. We'll see. We'll see what David Kirby has to say when we come back. This is Muddy Night Lights, powered by Farmer Home.
Simply free checking with First Bankers Trust. No monthly fees and easy digital banking. Plus, show your school spirit with a Blue Devil Spirit card. Get yours today and proudly support the Blue Devils all season long. Go Blue Devils!
Business telephone systems enhance productivity. Fire alarms increase your safety. Surveillance and security ensures your peace of mind. Experience, technology, service. United Systems.
Hey, Abe. Hey, George. You know what? We love beer!
This election year, be sure to make the correct decision and vote jerseys. Over the last 4 years, we have helped put more money back in your pocket with our daily drink specials and incredible food deals. We have also made steaks great again with our partnership with GJY Beef Company. So when you are making your next dinner decision, make it Jersey's Bar and Grill in Camp Point, Illinois.
For 125 years, Hollister Whitney has designed and manufactured solutions for the vertical transportation industry right here in Quincy, Illinois. Now you have the chance to be a vital part of this quality-driven, family-oriented team. We have salaried and hourly positions available, both with excellent benefits and very competitive wages. Cutting-edge technology, a dynamic, engaging, and flexible work environment, the opportunity to achieve your full potential. Elevate your career to the next level at Hollister Whitney.
My name is Jamie Kincaid, and we own Sterling Tax Service. I am a retired fireman. We came to Edwards Group originally to figure out where we were with our estate. For us, it was peace of mind that our daughter wouldn't have to try and figure out what was going on, because it would be impossible for her. It's an easy process. You get off the fence and do it, because you will appreciate it later.
Call Edwards Group today to schedule your path to peace of mind.
Hi, I'm Rory O'Donnell with the O'Donnell Cooks and Life Celebration Home. As a Quincy University alum, I understand the impact a local business has on area athletics. That is why the O'Donnell Cooks and Life Celebration Home takes pride in supporting local athletic teams. We want to wish all of our area teams the best of luck this season. The O'Donnell Cooks and Life Celebration Home of Quincy, supporting local athletics for 5 generations.
Business moves at the speed of light. How can you keep pace with today's technological advancements in alarms, surveillance, and phone systems? 2 words, United Systems. Contact us today for your no-obligation business review.
Welcome back to Muddy Night Lights, powered by Farm and Home Supply. I'm Muddy River Sports Editor Matt Schuckman. We are going to jump to the other side of the Mississippi River to break down Missouri high school football. And we're going to head to the United Systems hotline as Monroe City coach David Kirby is ready to join us to break down the Panthers' 66 victory over Highland. Coach, how are you?
I'm doing very well.
I assume you're home by now and relaxing?
Yes, sir. We are home. Now I kind of jumped right into work for next week, so got to get some things accomplished.
Well, and you never do. Do you ever really relax during football season? Like totally just veg out and.
I have my nights where I do. I enjoy the sushi nights every once in a while, just to kind of get my mind off of things. And so, but I'm usually pretty anxious. My wife tells me I need to calm down a smidgen.
Well, but when you're in the heat of the moment, it's football season. It's hard to walk away from it, even for a night, isn't it?
Absolutely.
Yeah. What the Panthers do well tonight?
We did a lot of things well. We rushed for 355 yards, and we had 181 yards passing. Quincy had a heck of a game tonight. Quincy Mayfield, he had 5 carries for 151 yards and then 2 receptions for 53. So he was 204 all-purpose yards, and had a big night from Wyatt DeGrave at the quarterback. He was 6 for 8 for 171, and then Dylan Ross had another 5 carries for 123 yards. And so we had a lot of things working really well tonight. And I thought the kids really responded well to the week of practice that we had, and coming off of last week's loss to Lawson.
Yeah. What did they learn? You hope they learned something in a loss. You hope they gained something from it. What do you think they learned or gained from last week's loss?
I think the biggest thing they learned is you don't look past an opponent. I thought it was, and I've had this conversation. I've had some pretty heartfelt conversations with these kids. Like several of those kids had looked at Lawson's record last week, and they thought that we were just going to go in there and mop the floor with them, and we didn't execute the way that we needed to. And Lawson came out. They had some kids back. They they were healthy, and they were able to do some stuff. And they jumped out on us real early, and our kids, I'll give my kids credit. They responded really well. They got down 29-0, and we fought back and rattled off 20 straight. But it was just it was too late. And so this week, I'm not going to sit here and tell you it was a very nice week of practice, because it wasn't. We had to do a lot of gut checking. We had to look ourselves in the mirror, and we had to get better. And I thought the kids responded really well, to what we challenged them with. And I have the utmost respect for any opponent we play. I know that Coach Orangeman at Highland, he coaches his kids up really well. I think their kids play hard. We were just able to capitalize on some things tonight and do some stuff really well. And so I was really proud of the way the kids responded this evening.
Well, the nice thing is you had tonight and next week, you had 2 weeks left in the regular season to kind of to rebound from the loss to Lawson. Because if that happens week 9, or if that happens first week of the district tournament where you overlook somebody, then it's like, you don't have that opportunity. So maybe it did maybe it did get in their heads, and they learned from it.
It did. I think that's one of the things that, I try to tell this to kids, like there's always a lesson to be learned. I don't like moral victories and things like that, but I do know that there's a lesson, and this is one of those things that the kids were able, they had to take a real hard look at themselves and, understand that after a tough loss, you're going to have to regroup. You're going to have to refocus. And I thought the kids did that. And, we came out tonight and we showed what we're capable of. And after the game, I just told the kids, hey, celebrate this one, enjoy it until midnight. And then we got to get back to work, because we've got an opportunity this next week to play Macon and finish out the regular season strong. And we're going to have to really play a good game to compete with them.
Well, and you want to take as much momentum into districts as possible. So you got to have a good game next week.
Absolutely. Because we know that looking at districts, obviously we know who's sitting at the number 1 with South Shelby, and those guys have had a heck of a year. Yep. Coach Gunnerman's got that program in an upward trajectory, and those kids are hungry to be district champs. And it runs through Shelbina, but also, you've got some tough opponents in that district. Obviously Palmyra's sitting there. I think we're a tough opponent. It's just a CCC conference, and you throw, the former CCC conference member, Mark Twain, in there. There's some opponents that you're familiar with, and on any given night, if you're not at your best, they're going to knock you off. So our kids we're going to go into this next week against Macon, and hopefully we play the best game we've played all year and carry in some momentum into the district tournament.
Awesome, Coach. Thanks for taking the time to talk about it, and good luck next week against Macon, and we'll be getting ready to prep for districts after that.
Hey, thank you guys for having me on. I appreciate y'all.
All right, see you, Kirby. That was Monroe City coach David Kirby joining us on the United Systems hotline, breaking down the 60-6 victory over Highland tonight. Clarence County Conference is a war as always, and that district is loaded. I know South Shelby is the best team in that district and has proven that week in and week out this season, but there are a lot of teams that can to step up and bite somebody, and there won't be an easy game during that district tournament. So we look forward to breaking that down. We need to take another break. Let our sponsors be heard. Make sure you check out all of our sponsors. We have great people backing us and letting us bring this to you every Friday night. So make sure you check out our sponsors. We're going to give them a chance to sell themselves here, and we're going to take a break. And then when we come back, Matt Woodworth of the Unity Payson football team is going to join us to talk about an incredible victory for the Mustangs tonight. So stick around. This is Muddy Night Lights, powered by Parks Home Supply.
Looking for a new hangout or a place to eat? Gabe welcomes you to the Silver Dollar. Delicious menu options, daily lunch and drink specials, and 6 gambling machines. Come hang out on the patio with friends at the Silver Dollar, 7403 Broadway. Gaming and grill up on the hill. Silver Dollar.
Life's better when you're under our roof.
Your policy's updated.
Because we know your house is where their dreams begin.
Impressive.
Thanks, Caleb. And our agents are here to help you feel protected, so your family can pursue their dreams. Bundle life and save up to 25% on home and auto. American Family Insurance.
Neiman's, your neighborhood market.
As a new hunting season begins, we observe a species most rare, the hunter incompetus. The hunting ritual begins. Already he stakes his claim by bringing a duck call to a deer hunt. Disaster strikes. A devastating blow to a long-suffering species. There may be no helping the hunter incompetus, but for everyone else, no other place has it all like Farm and Home Supply.
Tell my mom to pick me up soon. Hey, grab me one too.
Muddy Night Lights is also brought to you by Town & Country Inn and Nationwide Transportation.
Looking for a new hangout or a place to eat? Gabe welcomes you to the Silver Dollar. Delicious menu options, daily lunch and drink specials, and 6 gambling machines. Come hang out on the patio with friends at the Silver Dollar, 7403 Broadway. Gaming and grill up on the hill. Silver Dollar.
For 125 years, Hollister Whitney has designed and manufactured solutions for the vertical transportation industry right here in Quincy, Illinois. Now you have the chance to be a vital part of this quality-driven, family-oriented team. We have salaried and hourly positions available, both with excellent benefits and very competitive wages. Cutting-edge technology, a dynamic, engaging, and flexible work environment, the opportunity to achieve your full potential. Elevate your career to the next level at Hollister Whitney.
Welcome back to Muddy Night Lights, powered by Farm and Home Supply. I'm Muddy River Sports Editor Matt Shuckman, coming to you from downtown Quincy in the Refreshment Services Pepsi studio. And the game of the night didn't get over till we were already on the air. They're not even home yet, but Matt Woodworth of Unity Payson is joining us on the United Systems Hotline to talk about the Mustangs' 54-48 double overtime victory over Pleasant Hill tonight. And wow, what a game. Coach, how are you?
I'm good, Matt. How you doing?
Okay, so in my head, I'm thinking, holy cow, incredible, like kind of those kind of thoughts. What's going through your head at the end of that game?
At this point, it's still hard to process. What happened, we were down 28-8 there late in the third quarter. We got a touchdown to get within, 12 points there. And, it was still, we were struggling on defense. Pleasant Hill, they've got a good offensive line right now.
Yep.
They run some option, which is, something that we haven't seen a whole lot. So it was kind of a different animal, and we struggled with it a little bit. But, the kids kept fighting, never gave up. And, it just, it worked out in our favor.
You get the touchdown that gets you within 8. And you have to go for the onside kick. You don't have a choice, and you recover it. And I thought you guys executed that onside kick about as perfect as you can execute an onside kick.
We did. We had tried one earlier in the game, and it kind of went sideways off of our kicker's foot and actually went backwards, and we actually lost yardage on the kick where it went out of bounds. So he didn't have a whole lot of confidence in himself. But, when I told him we were doing it again, he kind of looked at me funny, and I said, told Nick, our kicker, I said, you're going to be fine. I said, make sure it goes 10 yards and give ourselves a chance. And, he did, and we got the bounce, and, one of our kids, Cole Ray, was right there and, grabbed it right as it came across the 50-yard line and, gave us a shot with a minute left in the game.
Well, and then it comes down to one play with 0.7 seconds left. And I thought throughout that possession, and especially on that last play, Sawyer Allen just did an incredible job of scrambling and buying time and waiting for somebody to make a play or get open.
He did. Pleasant Hill gave us fits with their pass rush. They got some kids, especially coming off the edge. They did a good job trying to make sure that he couldn't roll out and get outside the pocket on some of our sprint out stuff. But, Sawyer did a great job of buying time, and, some of his best plays down that last drive, were probably incompletions, but, he was able to buy some time and get her scramble around the pocket enough that he could get out and just throw the ball away so he could get an incompletion and stop the clock instead of take a sack. We had that clock running when we were out of timeouts.
And you still had to get the 2-point conversion, and then you get a procedure penalty. So now instead of going for 2 from the 3, you're going for 2 from the 8. And it changes what you do, doesn't it?
It did. We'd actually put in an extra tackle, and we're just, running basically a wedge play up the middle.
Yep.
Then we got the false start penalty, so it backed us up to the 8-yard line. And, we call it a play that, it's a mesh concept that, it's worked real well for us the last couple of weeks, and and they covered it well, but Sawyer was able to break the pocket, and he was able to scramble and get across the goal line for the 2-point conversion, and get ourselves to overtime.
And once you got to overtime, you found a way.
We did. Pleasant Hill scored first, but our boys, they kept them out of the end zone on the 2-point conversion, and
yep.
We got into one play and tied it up and couldn't quite punch it in, but it took us a couple plays to get in the second overtime, and our boys stood tall, and it was literally came down to a 4th and goal at the 3-yard line, and I think it was Skylar Gutsch, one of our outside linebackers, made a play. They ran a toss sweep. We called basically an all-out blitz, and we're going for broke on that play, and they called a toss sweep and kind of got outside of where we were blitzing, and he was able to expand and get the running back pulled down just short of the goal line to steal the win for us.
How did they react when you see them celebrate and take that? How did they react?
I think some of it was just sheer excitement. Some of it was just kind of relief that it was finally over with. I think some of them were kind of dumbfounded and didn't really know what to do. It was, just tons of smiles and, kids, grinning ear to ear, just, excited and, thrilled, coming back. And then it was just so back and forth. And, those last 4 or 5 minutes of regulation, plus the 2 overtimes, I think it definitely took a couple of years off of my life and definitely added some gray hairs to me.
Well, you guys earned it. That's for sure. You earned the victory. It had me sitting here watching on the live stream trying to get, and it's all happening as we're launching at 10 o'clock when the show starts. And I'm sitting here wanting to watch your game, but I'm trying to talk to the camera the whole time. And it's like, okay, I'm trying to do both. And that was impossible. So it was a lot of fun.
Right, yeah. I'm sure it was tough to keep your concentration and still watch the end of the game.
Yeah, well, you guys earned it. Coach, I know you're on your way home, so I appreciate you taking time to chat with us about the big win for the Mustangs, and congratulations.
Thank you, man. I appreciate you having me on.
All right, man. Be safe on the way home.
Yeah, you too. Thank you.
That was Matt Woodworth, Unity Payson football coach, after their dramatic double overtime victory over Pleasant Hill, 54-48. And it was captivating. That's the beauty of the live streams, and thank the schools and the media outlets and everybody who helps bring high school football to the viewer and the listener and the fan, because that was fantastic to be able to sit here and watch the end of that game. We need to take a break, pay some more bills. When we come back, we will have our starry star of the night. And then we still have to get to the scoreboard and wrap things up. So we still got a lot to get to over the next 20 minutes. So stick with us. This is Monday Night Lights, powered by Farm Coast.
Sometimes life throws bold moments at you, like finding the perfect vacation or finding the ideal location. At BOS, we're there to help you meet those moments with bold confidence. So whether it's managing money for future plans or getting what you need to start planning your dream, we're here to bring you a better banking experience. Make the bold move and switch to BOS today.
Looking for a new hangout or a place to eat? Gabe welcomes you to the Silver Dollar. Delicious menu options, daily lunch and drink specials, and 6 gambling machines. Come hang out on the patio with friends at the Silver Dollar, 7403 Broadway. Gaming and grill up on the hill. Silver Dollar.
Hi, I'm Rory O'Donnell with the O'Donnell Cooks and Life Celebration Home. As a Quincy University alum, I understand the impact a local business has on area athletics. That is why the O'Donnell Cooks and Life Celebration Home takes pride in supporting local athletic teams. We want to wish all of our area teams the best of luck this season. The O'Donnell Cooks and Life Celebration Home of Quincy, supporting local athletics for 5 generations.
Looking for a new hangout or a place to eat? Gabe welcomes you to the Silver Dollar. Delicious menu options, daily lunch and drink specials, and 6 gambling machines. Come hang out on the patio with friends at the Silver Dollar, 7403 Broadway. Gaming and grill up on the hill. Silver Dollar.
We believe that accessing care close to home is better for you and better for your family. For 120 years, Hannibal Regional has been committed to providing community-based, contemporary health care. From state-of-the-art surgical care to innovative cancer care, and now life-saving open-heart surgery. We are dedicated to expanding access to exceptional care in each of the communities we serve. Hannibal Regional, why go anywhere else?
Motor vehicle accidents are traumatic situations, and oftentimes they can result in very significant and permanent injuries. In Steve and Paula's case, they were hit by a drunk driver on the bridge. They realized very quickly that it was a significant accident and that they deserved to be reasonably compensated. Now, having worked for the insurance companies for several years, I know how to best present your case. If you've been in a motor vehicle accident, call McCleary Law.
From your trash to your recycling, you're doing your part.
you can trust us to do ours. We're a team of people working hard for you, turning problems into solutions and waste into possibilities. We're Republic Services. We haul it, we recycle it, we convert it, we even electrify it. We work where you work. We live where you live. We are Republic Services.
Welcome back to Monday Night Lights, powered by Farm and Home Supply. I'm Muddy River Sports Editor Matt Shuckman. It's been a fun night talking prep football here from the Refreshment Services Pepsi studio in downtown Quincy. Week 8 is in the books. It's hard to believe that we have 1 week left in the regular season, and we're 8 weeks into the regular season, 8 weeks into this show. It's been a blast. It's been a blast so far, bringing you Monday Night Lights every Friday night. And one of the things we brought you every Friday night as part of Monday Night Lights is the Starry Star of the Night, brought to you by Refreshment Services Pepsi. And you sit here as the night unfolds and you start looking at numbers and you start looking at impact performances and you start wondering, okay, who's had the most impact of the night? And that's kind of what I've always based it on each week when I made the decision on who our Starry Star of the Night is impact. Starting with week 1 when Pierce White had such a great game for Palmyra and led them to an overtime victory at Hallsville, and he had the 2-point conversion run that gave them the separation that gave them the win. Well, we go back to the overtime tonight, and we just talked to his head coach, Unity Payson's Matt Woodworth, and I think we got to go with quarterback Sawyer Allen. You know, his plays late in that game just to keep the drive alive, to scramble, to give guys a chance to get open, to throw the ball away, to get out of bounds, to stop the clock. You know, so many of the plays he made may not end up with great stat numbers next to them, but they were game-winning plays. And then he made the run, the scramble, which led to the run, which led to the 2-point conversion, which forced overtime. So I just think you can't overlook all the plays that Sawyer Allen made for Unity Payson and helping them to a 54-48 double overtime victory at Pleasant Hill. We don't have his final stats in front of us. We will get that all updated so we get everything shared on social media and everything. But Sawyer Allen, Unity Payson quarterback, he's your Starry Star of the night. Best game of the night, most dramatic game of the night took place at Pleasant Hill with Unity Payson pulling out a 54-48 double overtime victory. Sawyer Allen, tip of the cap to you. You, sir, made plays tonight, and that was impressive. And that's what needed to happen to pull out a victory, a late-season victory, and and completely dash Pleasant Hill's hopes of any way, shape, or form sneaking into the playoffs. But the Wolves could ruin it for somebody else next week because they take on Brown County, and that game is going to determine whether Brown County gets in the playoffs or not. So, again, Week 9, there's still a ton to play for, and we got a lot to talk about when it comes to Week 9. But first, we got to finish wrapping up Week 8, which means we got to go back to the scoreboard brought to you by Schottenkirk Toyota and give you some more updates, and then look ahead to Week 9. So we're going to take a break, make sure we got everything updated, ready to go, and come back with your Schottenkirk Toyota scoreboard and wrap up this Week 8 edition of Monday Night Lights, powered by Farm and Home Supply.
So what separates us most from all the other dealerships is the Toyota brand itself.
Once they buy a Toyota, they never buy anything else. #1 vehicle on the market, the best sedan on the market, some of the best reliable trucks on the market. And our main goal here is to try and get our customers the best payment possible.
We know the process and we pass that along to you.
We're simply looking to buy vehicles off the street.
And we want all makes and models of vehicles.
And you don't even have to buy anything in return. We'll just simply purchase it from you.
We can purchase a vehicle in 10 or 15 minutes or less.
Since 1929, we've been here to serve our communities with the best products and the best service. You are the reason we go to work every day. and we thank you for that. After all, we live where you do.
Muddy Night Lights is also brought to you by Town & Country Inn and Nationwide Transportation.
The Smart Start Transfer Career Academy lets you get your associate's degree early, starting in high school.
I graduated my associate's degree on Friday, 2 days before I graduated high school on Sunday.
It allowed me to get way, way ahead.
Having my prerequisites done is going to help me a lot, as I will get to start a year earlier than I would have without it.
It's really easy to make good connections with people that actually care about you. They helped me plan things out in a way that I definitely wouldn't have been able to do on my own. It made it really easy for me.
I love to shop online, and one thing I'm not going to screw up is a piece of jewelry that I'm going to wear for the rest of my life.
And it's as simple as just being able to see it. Like, just being able to actually physically hold it and see it, that's different than like, oh, look, I'm on the internet. Like, that looks nice, I think.
Trying on rings and seeing different sizes and the different colors, and I just want to be able to touch and feel it and have the experience. Having the experience is going to be more important to me than just adding something to a cart and clicking buy now.
There are 3 things that she's going to get asked. How did he propose? How big's the diamond? And where did he get it?
I'm proud to tell my friends that, this is where I got my ring.
I don't know. It just seems like it's kind of a no-brainer.
Welcome back to Muddy Night Lights, powered by Farm and Home Supply. I'm Muddy River Sports editor Matt Schuckman. Week 8 is in the books. We are wrapping up our 2-hour-long sojourn into talking prep football, and then get prepped ready for what Saturday brings. And there's a ton going on this Saturday that you'll want to check out at muddyriversports.com. We've got QU football taking on Truman State, 1 o'clock Saturday at QU Stadium, the Highway 6 rivalry game. We've got state golf going on. Illini West and Quincy Notre Dame boys golf teams have both qualified for the second day of the state tournament. We got Bo Eftink tied for 5th currently individually. We got 2 Quincy Notre Dame girls who advanced. Ty Novosel of Quincy High School is still alive. So a lot going on that front. On the Missouri side, we've got district softball championships. You've got Highland taking on Monroe City over at Highland tomorrow. Big showdown there between Clarence Canyon Conference rivals. That Highland team's a bear too, so we'll see what happens there. But it's going to take a Herculean effort for Monroe City to get past Highland. So a lot going on Saturday. And then next week we've got more postseason action. Quincy Notre Dame soccer started its postseason path tonight with a victory in regional play. They will play next week for the regional championship. Come Monday night, we've got the showdown, the crosstown showdown on the volleyball court as Quincy High School and Quincy Notre Dame go head-to-head at Blue Devil Gym this time. So that'll be interesting. So again, a ton coming up. But we want to break down week 8, Don't want to get ahead of myself. Week 8 of the prep football season one more time by running through the scoreboard, brought to you by Schottenkirk Toyota. Quincy High School wraps up an undefeated run through the Western Big Six Conference with a 55-18 victory over Geneseo. The Blue Devils have won 15 consecutive Western Big Six Conference games, second longest winning streak in conference history. Quincy Notre Dame, fresh off winning the Central State 8 West Division title, takes down Central State 8 East Division foe Lincoln 54-12 at Advanced Physical Therapy Field. The Raiders are 7-1 heading into week 9. They will be on the road as well as Quincy High School next week. So both Quincy teams are on the road, both looking to wrap up incredible regular seasons. Camp Point Central with a 41-28 victory over Carrollton. Calhoun beats Brown County 31-16. Unity Payson, in the game of the night, beats Pleasant Hill 54-48 in double overtime at Pleasant Hill. We talked to Unity Payson coach Matt Woodworth on the United Systems hotline. Incredible effort by his guys. Scored 2 touchdowns in the final 2 minutes of regulation to force overtime, including getting a 2-point conversion after the second touchdown. And then both teams scored and failed to convert in the first overtime. Unity Payson scores in the second overtime and then stops Pleasant Hill to win that game 54-48. Illini West wins its 5th straight game, improves to 5-3, and is headed to the playoffs after a 46-12 victory over West Hancock. Macomb is in the playoffs. That's 6 victories for Macomb now. 41-7 over Bureau Valley tonight. Pittsfield has an outside chance of still getting in the playoffs. We'll explain here in a minute. Pittsfield takes care of Auburn 42-21. On the Missouri side, Hannibal shellacks Marshall 57-14. South Shelby back on track with a 42-21 victory over Macon. Monroe City goes to Highland and wins 60-6. Centralia beats Palmyra 44-12. And on Thursday night, our lone Thursday night game of the week, Mark Twain beat Louisiana 24-6 in Eastern Missouri Conference play. There is your Week 8 scoreboard presented by Schottenkirk Toyota. Now, I mentioned Pittsfield. Pittsfield's got an outside chance of getting in. The Saukeys are now sitting at 3-5, one of their better records since they joined the Sangamo Conference. They've been competitive week in and week out, and they've taken care of business of teams that they needed to beat to give themselves an opportunity to get in the playoffs. Here's the kicker. If they beat next week, and I believe they play, is it Petersburg Porter? Let me find it. I'm trying to make sure I don't speak ill. You can fact check me, by the way. I'm okay with that. Yes, Petersburg Porter is who they take on next week. Porter did not play this week because that was the week they were supposed to have Riverton on the schedule, so they earned a forfeit victory this week. They have 2 victories up until now this season. They beat Pleasant Plains and they beat Athens. So now they take on Pittsfield next week. If Pittsfield wins and finishes 4-5, and they end up with any 4-5 teams sneaking into the playoffs, Pittsfield could be one of them. Right now, the Saukeys are on top of the Sangamo in opponent wins with 35. That was headed into this week, and I'd have to break down who did what. I haven't taken a chance to look and see who did what within the Sangamo. So you're looking at they're going to have 40-plus playoff points by next Saturday. If they win next week and they're sitting at 4-5 with enough playoff points, over 40 playoff points, they could sneak in. I haven't done the math yet to see how viable that truly is, but it's something we're going to have to look at as we head into next week. Brown County is sitting with 4 victories. A win next week gets the Hornets into the playoffs. Quincy High's there, Notre Dame's there, Camp Point Central's there, Macomb's there, Illini West is there. So we're going to have a bunch of teams that we'll be following once the playoffs hit. But we could have more, and then we're 2 weeks away from district play beginning in Missouri. I'm real anxious to see who wins that Class 2 district that involves South Shelby, Monroe City, Palmyra. You've got some really good teams in that district, and I think South Shelby might be the cream of the crop right now, and proved it tonight with its victory over Macon. But again, nothing easy once the postseason hits, and that's the fun time of year. So again, next week we'll have Week 9 wrap up. We'll have your scores, your highlights, your starry star of the night, all the things you can expect on Monday Night Lights, powered by Farm and Home Supply. We'll have in Week 9, and we'll also take the time next Friday night to prepare you for what might happen on Saturday night. We'll have kind of our bracket kind of guesses, maybe. I don't know. I'm gonna talk to Steve Susi from the Joliet Herald News and the Shaw Media. To see what his take is. He is the guru of IHSA playoff brackets. Maybe he can give me some insight heading into. Maybe we can even get him to join us here on the show next Friday night to talk playoffs. So I know there'll be a lot of intrigue. If Quincy wins, Quincy High School goes on the road next week to Jefferson City to take on Capital City High School. If the Blue Devils win and finish undefeated, they could very well be they will be, should they be in 7A, the number 1 seeded team in the playoff bracket, because unless I misspoke, I don't want to misspeak, but I don't think I'm wrong in saying this, the Blue Devils are the only undefeated team currently in Class 7A. So if they win next week, they're the number 1 seed in the bracket. And in Illinois, in Class 7A, they seed them 1 through 32, roll out the balls and go. So no quadrants, no north and south, no east or west. It's 1 through 32 in play. So Blue Devils could find themselves in a pretty ideal spot as the number 1 seed in the playoff bracket. Still have to win next week to make that a possibility or a reality. So, again, we'll have complete coverage of Week 9 coming up. Make sure you check out muddyriversports.com. We've got game stories we'll be loading as the night goes on. We've got state golf updates, regional soccer updates. You name it, we're trying to get to it to bring you the best coverage there is in the Tri-States. Thank you for taking the time to join us tonight for Muddy Night Lights powered by Farm and Home Supply. I was so glad to be back here. Felt good to be in here. Felt good to be talking high school football. Can't wait to do more of it next week. I'm Muddy River Sports Editor Matt Shuckman. Enjoy your weekend and join us again next week for another episode of Muddy Night Lights powered by Farm and Home Supply.